Hey guys, welcome back to Python Fundamentals 2. So in this video, we will talk about Boolean and comparison operators. Then we will cover if operators. Moving on from there, we will go for logical operators and then we will go for and while loop. So this will be very interesting and advanced on the Python fundamentals. And after this, there would be one more video on Python fundamentals and then we are through with the Python fundamentals and you can proceed ahead with your web scraping in Python series. So whatever we will cover here will be very important in terms of understanding Python fundamentals and the basics. And from there on, you can pick up on all the videos on Python you will ever found on internet and you will understand what exactly is going through. So suppose if you want to learn programming in Python, you will be able to understand everything happening behind the codes. So let's get started. Alright, to begin with, I will just open my VS Code and I will just open a new file. I will just save this and I will save it here and I'll say this.py. I will write a equals 2. So in this case, I can go ahead and print its type. So I can say print type. This should say it is Boolean. So it says class is Boolean. Just increase some size for you. Alright. Just in case if I put this in double inverted commas. Now this time it has become a text. So if I run this now, it says it's a string. Alright. Similar is the case when I can write is greater as some function and then I can say is 7 is greater than 8. I am actually asking a query from it and I will say whatever the result is, print that. So print is great. So I will run this and if you see I have got a false statement because 7 is actually less than 8. I can also make it true by changing the sign. If you see here, I got a true statement that 8 is greater than 7. So that is how actually your Boolean and comparison operators work. They go through the condition and then check whether the condition is true or false. And based on that, they produce the results. Alright. So let's move to if operators. Alright. So I will delete this. And I will delete this also. Now we are on if operators. In if operators, what it could be a case is if the statement is true, then print something. And if the statement is not true, then print something else. So let us take a case of two students where we have the score of two students and we are actually trying the program to tell us which student has a higher score in contrast to other. Alright, so what I'll do is I will write a scenario. I'll say Ankita underscore score equals 69 and Amit underscore score equals 71. Now what I'll do is I will put if condition. So I'll say if Ankita score is less than Amit score, in this case, print Amit is topper. Now notice this that I am putting it after colon. So whenever I use if statement, it will read everything after this colon and then it only prints. Now I can also say else. And I can say print Ankita is. Now whichever statement will be correct, it will print that one. In this case, Ankita's score is less than Amit's score. So it should print Amit is topper. Let us run this. And it says Amit is topper. Now what if I just increase the score of Ankita and check? So it says Ankita is topper. So this is how actually your if operator works. Now there is one more thing. In Python, we can also use else if. So instead of else if, in Python we have elif, and elif give us a chance to add more conditions. So I just delete this and I'll give you one more case. Suppose I have two staff working, Divya and Aman, and I want that their card should be having access and anyone apart from them should not have the access. So the program should show access denied for anyone else, but if Divya or Aman is the name of the person who's coming up, then it should work. So let's write a program for this. My variable would be name. So I'll say name equals, and then I'll say if name equals Aman. In this case, it should print welcome Aman. And now I will use elif in order to give the access to Divya also. So I will say elif name equal Divya. Then it should print welcome Divya. And in all other cases, it should print access denied. Alright, so I will run this. And if you see, it says welcome Divya. Just in case, if I change here, I'll say Rohit. It says access denied. And in case I have Aman here, the program again says welcome Aman. So this is how actually your if operator works. Now we can also combine your if operator with your logical operator. And logical operators are AND or OR. So in case I have AND, then the operator makes sure both the statements should be true in order to print the result. And if the operator is OR, then also it prints the result based on the conditions. Let us see it practically, and this time we will say, so in case of if operator, I can ignore the elif command, and instead of that, I can actually shorten this one. So let me show you how exactly this works. I will remove this. And here I will say or name equal Divya. Then in this case, it should print access granted, and otherwise it should print access denied. So I'll just delete this one and I'll just make it query. So now what should my program do? It should say access granted because the name is Aman. Let us try running this up. It says access granted. Now just suppose I'll change this name to Atul and I'll just run this up one more time. Then this will say access denied because I have just given the condition for Aman and Divya. Similarly, if I can write here Divya, then my program should grant a access. And that is how it is. So that is how we combine the logical operator with if operator, and then we can shorten the part of codes we have to do. Now we will move to while and for loop, which gives you a command to control the codes and increase your programming ability. If you understand while and for loop, then you will never face issues when it comes to programming. So let's move to the most important part of this video, while and for loop. Alright, so I will just delete this and we will start with while and for loop. Suppose I am starting with number 1 and I want to print some result 11 times. So instead of copy pasting it 11 times or doing anything else, I will just run while loop, and while staying in the loop, the program will keep on creating the same records for me over and over. So let us see this practically. Suppose I have a variable num equal 1. I am beginning from first position, and I'll say while NUM is less than equal to 11, just do one thing, print Jai Ram. Okay, so it should print a Jai Shri Ram till it reaches to 11, and after 11 it should stop. I'll just say NUM should be equals to NUM plus 1. So it will start from the first position, and then it will move to while loop. It will keep on looping till it reaches to 11, and then it will stop printing the results. I have also added 1 to it so that it can keep on counting from first to second it has reached. So let us run this and then we will see the results. So if we see here, it has printed my results and it has run a loop for me. I'll just show you how exactly this works with the list also. So suppose I have a live session coming up and I just want 3 people to attend it. In that case, I can actually ask the people to write their name. And after reaching to number 3, the program should say, sorry, seats are full. So let us write that kind of program here. So I will delete this and we will start here. And I'll say while ln is less than 3, it should say new name equal input, enter your name, and then it should actually remove the white spaces. So I'll say strip. This will remove the white spaces. This will capitalize everything user will be entering. Also here, I should make this L so that this does not create issues later. Now I will write L dot append new name once the list is finished, and I will say print L. So whatever the user is printing in the list, it should come up, and then we say print sorry seats are append. So I will just run this, and it is asking me name, so I'll write Rohit Anand. Next I'll say Virat Kohli, and then I'll say Sam Matthew. So if you see here, it says sorry seats are full, and after this it will not take any more entries. So that is how it works. So now the interesting part is when you understand how exactly your for and while loop work, you can actually use them on the list and you can make the program do anything. So suppose if I had a range of numbers, I can actually print that range of numbers also. Suppose for I in range 1 to 5 I had, and I just wanted to print the I, then I can write this, and if we check here, I will have a range of numbers available. So I can have any list here, and I can take any of these values coming up in the list or in the range, and I can get that print. And while printing that, I can actually use different scenarios also. Similarly, I can do this for characters also. So suppose if I have I in A, B, C, D, and I just want to print my I, and before running this, I will delete this so that I just have one thing, and I will remove this here also. Let us run this. So if you see here, I have got the values for I. Now I have the ability to change this program also. I can say I should go from 1, but it should skip the number 3 and then it could move to number 4. Similarly, I can make different cases. So your for loop and while loop are your powerful tools in order to actually control the way your codes work. Alright, so we have seen how exactly you can work with your Boolean operators, if operators, logical operators, and for and while loop. So I think that is all for this video. I will see you in the next one.